Here's an update from the KSHB 41 Weather Center. Well, we officially at KCI had 77/100ths of an inch of rain yesterday on Saturday, and that brought November to above average. And as you look here through the months of the year, it's the only month that doesn't start with J that's above average rainfall. So January, June, and July, and now we add November, and we're still about 3.4 inches below average for the year, but we were quite a bit more, by getting close to 6 inches below average for the year. So much better conditions. Our actual drought has gone from severe to moderate, and that doesn't even include the rain from yesterday. So good news here is we're getting some nice rain. Snow is also precipitation, and that helps as well. It's just not as easy to drive on, but it is definitely pretty to look at if you look at it that way, and it'd be pretty to look at the plaza lights with snow on them. I think we're going to see snow on Monday, our first snow looking more likely. We are in a winter weather advisory, and there's also a winter weather advisory for Chicago after the winter storm that just hit there. It's still snowing a little bit. We'll look at some weather around the country here if you are traveling here coming up. But we are in this winter weather advisory for Monday, and we'll get into the details here in just a second. We are certainly cold enough as it is starting on this Sunday morning in the teens. 17 at KCI, 18 downtown. The wind is not as strong as it was last night, fortunately, because the wind chills would be colder than this. And they're already cold. 4 at KCI, -1 in Bethany, and 5 in Olathe, 9 in Garnett. The warm spot is Pleasanton. The wind chill is 14. So let's go through this here. Here is our situation. Now, yesterday, snowstorm went through Chicago and Detroit. That is now moving off to the east, but still affecting Chicago. You can see there's snow there. There's also some thunderstorms from east of Houston to west of New Orleans and west of Atlanta, and so there could be some delays in those locations. Our storm is sitting in Salt Lake City and moving this way. A little area of snow there, but that system's going to move out into the middle of the country and begin to produce snow. So let's go through this here at 7 p.m. A lot of clouds around. There may be a snow flurry around. And then you can see as we go through the night, by 3, 4 in the morning, little bands of snow begin to form. The initial bands may just be very, very light. Some may not even reach the ground. But you can see the main snow by 7 a.m. is just west of the Kansas City area. And so sometime right around the rush hour, give or take an hour, I think the snow will begin. And as we go through the morning and into around noon, you can see something interesting. It's snowing in Kansas City, but just southeast, Clinton, Iola, Nevada, Columbia, Missouri, it is not snowing at this time, and it's all to the west, but it ultimately will move in as it comes through by 4 p.m. It becomes a little band of snow, weakens a little bit, and then moves off to the east, and then becomes a bigger storm in the eastern United States. We could have some freezing fog on Tuesday morning, so we'll watch for that. Now, how much snow are we expecting? Well, we are expecting a pretty good band there of 1 to 3 inches, and in the white is a dusting to 2. So when we zoom into the Kansas City area, 1 to 3 inches from Kansas City to St. Joseph, dusting to 2 around that, and then dusting to 1 in Garnett, Paola, Harrisonville, and Butler. Now, that 1 to 3 inch band can still shift north or south by 30 to 50 miles. Now, this is not a big storm, but it's the first snow. And it is going to stick from the very first flake, because not only is it cold out, and if it starts before sunrise, it certainly will stick from the first flake. After sunrise, it still likely will stick from the first flake because the sun angle is as low as it gets in Kansas City between the end of November and the end of January. So that is what we're dealing with, and so it's going to be very hard for the sun to do much with it, especially with temperatures in the 20s. So as we take a look at our timeline here, today it's going to be mostly cloudy and cold, a high around 25 degrees. There might be a snow flurry or two. Then tonight, it'll be around 20, and a 40% chance the snow starts as early as 5 to 7 a.m., a 90% chance it begins after that and ends around 4 to 6 p.m. tomorrow. We are looking at 1 to 3 inches, likely across the city and across most locations in the viewing area. Fortunately, wind will not be much of a factor. On the Super 10-day forecast, we are looking at warmer days a little bit, Tuesday and Wednesday in the 30s. As I said, we could have some freezing fog Tuesday morning. Then as we go into the rest of the 10-day, generally highs in the 20s and 30s. There may be a little system Friday, and it's looking a little colder with each run there on Sunday. But each one of these each of these cold air masses kind of moves in and then back out. So it's not going to be in the 20s forever. So generally highs in the 30s and 40s, or maybe another few days are in the 20s, especially as you see on Thursday as well. So we will keep watching this. We're in a winter weather advisory on Monday. Stay with KSHB 41. We'll keep you advised. Have a great week ahead. Stay safe, stay healthy.